Hello there, this is DBT, and this Art of Rooms. And alright, let's continue playing some more Asphalt Legends Unite. And today I'll be doing multiplayer with a bunch of different cars, but I really wanted to make this video to talk and tackle some of the topics that I've seen a lot of people talking about lately, some of the concerns, some of the doubts. So that's why I'm making this video, to try to provide some information as to what I know of what's happening in the game at the moment. But before I jump into it, if you like my content, please hit the like button in this video, for it helps with the discoverability so that more people can find this video and also maybe figure out what's going on. And subscribe to the channel because hey, it's free, why not? But alright, the very first topic is the account progress lost. A bunch of people have been reporting that indeed once they updated to Asphalt Legends Unite, they have lost their account completely. Like, it's not there, what is happening, oh my god. I get it, it's very worrisome. I would be really worried if my account was also gone, for sure. But actually GameLoft already talked about this yesterday, and actually was early on. So let me show you what Motley posted in precisely the Hot Topics channel in the Discord server, and it reads, Android account progress issues. A bit of a typo there, it's fine. It says, we receive reports from a few Android users that when first logging into Asphalt Legends Unite, their account seems to have lost progress. Good news is, we already have a fix running, which can automatically resolve this issue. It can take up to 1 hour to resolve lost progress since you first connect to Asphalt Legends Unite, but restarting your game once the time has passed should allow you to recover all your progress once more. We apologize for this inconvenience, and we'll also be deploying a permanent fix to the issue in a few days. So as it says over here, they're already working on that fix. Apparently they did something where after about 1 hour or so your account should be back. But now whether or not this has worked for everybody, I don't know, because what tends to happen a lot is that people report en masse when, oh, this is working, this is not working, but then you never get an update or a follow-up as to whether or not that actually got resolved. So from a lot of people that already said, I lost my account, how many of them came back to say, well, I did recover it? I don't know, maybe it was one person, maybe it was 100, I really don't know, so I can't speak as to how effective this was. But what I can say is that GameLoft absolutely 100% is gonna be making sure to fix this, because it's no good for the company, it's not good for the game to let a lot of people lose their progress, because obviously that demotivates the people who have made any progress in the game, and even less they're gonna be willing to lose all the people who actually spend money in the game, buy stuff. Imagine if I've been spending, I don't know, hundreds and hundreds of dollars, so however much money you've spent, and suddenly all of that is gone. I'm gonna be like, ah, screw this, I'm not coming back to this, I'm out, I'll play something else. I'm not willing to spend all that money again. So yeah, GameLoft is not gonna let this fly by. They're definitely gonna be working on fixing it. So if your account hasn't been fixed just yet, well, we can only be patient. Do report it to customer care. But speaking of that, also please keep in mind that customer care is probably right now swamped, flooded with a ton of issues that a lot of people, not only because of accounts lost, but hey, my device is not working properly with the game, it crashes and this, and there's gonna be a ton of reports right now because this was such a big update. So many things changing, all of the, the game is basically a different engine now, so issues, there's gotta be issues everywhere. So the point that I'm trying to make is that it seems extremely likely that customer service right now is swamped. Imagine you reported an issue, right? Maybe 5,000 people already reported an issue before you did. So it's gonna take 5,000, going through 5,000 reports to check that. And I know that some people think like, oh, they should just hire more people to do that. That's not how that works. When something is unexpected, but oh well, I'm not gonna go here and try to talk too much about the inner workings of customer care, even though I've worked on that, so I kind of know how that works. But whatever, the point is, do be patient with customer service. They're eventually going to take care of each one of these issues. And if GameLoft suddenly says, okay, everything is fixed now, we're good, and you still did not get your account fixed, then do insist on it. But other than that, it's just a matter of patience, because yeah, they're probably super swamped right now. Now, I do want to talk about the situation with cross-save, because there's some doubts as to how cross-save works, why can I not link my account, this and that. And yesterday, I did mention in the video that I uploaded, if you haven't watched it, link is appearing in the top right about now, how you needed to link your account with a code if you're moving the account from one service to another. For example, in my case, from Android to here on Steam, the version that I'm playing now. For that, you not only you need to have your GameLoft ID, but then you also need to do an additional step to link your account with a code and all of that. So assuming you've already done that and you're still wondering, wait a second, but why can I not play in my PlayStation if I had Android? Well, that is because some platforms are standalone. And after spending about $500 in the best AI-generated images, I came up with this. Obviously, I'm joking. So I did this just as a bit of an explainer of how cross-save works. Over here on this side, we have all of the platforms that you can transfer your account to from, move them as you want. Android, iOS, Windows in the Microsoft Store, Windows, the Steam version, and Xbox. I don't know if I'm forgetting any, but between any of this, you can transfer your account without any issues. You can do the linkage and all of that, and it'll work. However, PlayStation, it's its own thing. You cannot transfer for PlayStation to any of this, nor to Nintendo, and it's the same in the other way around. From Nintendo, you cannot transfer to the PlayStation, nor to any of this. These two stand alone by themselves. If you have an account, well, in PlayStation, you would be creating an account because it's just released. But for example, in my case, I have a Nintendo account with a bunch of progress. It stays on the Nintendo. I cannot transfer it to PlayStation. I cannot transfer it to anything else. It stays right here. It doesn't move. And in the same way, I cannot move any of this to Nintendo or PlayStation. You know, that's why I circled them like this, right? They're completely separate. They're their own islands. There's no transferring of your account over there. But that's not to say that they're completely independent, because there's still crossplay, which can play with each other. Now, over here, I just added some arrows to give you the idea, but basically, when it comes to crossplay, meaning you get to play with people from another account, this is all the way through. Now, Nintendo, at the moment, it's still a bit of a pause because Nintendo hasn't gotten the update just yet. We don't know when it's coming, it was delayed, whatever. I made a video, link is appearing in the top right. But at least once it is also updated to Asphalt Legends Unite, all of this will be able to play with each other. So there should be no problem. If you're an Android, you'll be matched against some people on PlayStation, Nintendo, and everything else, so on and so forth, right? I think this is very, very easy or straightforward to understand. But once again, when it comes to who or where you can transfer your accounts, this is how it works. All of this can be transferred amongst each other, but this too stay where they are and they cannot be moved. So I hope this helps a little bit to clarify how that works. And by the way, I've also seen people saying like, oh, it's really dumb for Gameloft to not allow this to be crossplay. This is not about Gameloft. Gameloft had the goal for it to be completely cross-save, but apparently both PlayStation and the Nintendo platforms as a whole, they have their own, I don't know, what is it, save system or something, and there's something that is prohibiting Gameloft to allow the cross-save between these platforms. Why? I don't know. Maybe they have their own policies. So like, no, you cannot transfer information from Nintendo accounts because of privacy concerns. Who knows? But yeah, if Gameloft could, I assure you, they would have made it so that you could move the account from any of this all the way through. Now, the next issue that I've seen a lot of people talk about, and it makes all the sense in the world, is performance issues in mobile. Now, I don't know about performance issues on PC because, you know, there's just so many combinations, but there's also so many phones out there that it's difficult to keep track of. Whoa! It's both kind of fun and appropriate that we got a bit of a DBT's desktop jump scare. Yeah, the game just crashed out of nowhere. Indeed, funny because I was just about to talk performance issues and whatnot. I have noticed that indeed there's crashes here on the Steam version. I don't know about the Microsoft version of the game, but I would imagine it's similar. Seems considerably unstable, the game. So I don't know what to say about that other than, well, I hope it gets patched soon. Obviously, the idea is to report when there's this type of crashes, but I imagine that by now Gameloft knows about all of these issues, so oh well, it happens. But what I wanted to talk about the performance issues on the phone is that I understand a lot of people are having a lot of issues because suddenly this game became so much heavier to play. And by heavy, I not only mean the weight of the game in size of how many gigabytes, but also just in general. Holy moly! Well, third time's the charm. Apparently it's not crashing this time. Let's hope for the best. But once again, mobile issues with the performance, yes, that is sadly expected once the game gets this whole revamp with the lights and all of that. Now, do remember that you can turn, in some devices, not every device, but you can turn down the graphic settings a little bit. But I've read a bunch that even in a lot of cases, that still is not working out or is not helping. And it is true that this game, once you turn down the settings all the way down as much as you can, at least as you can in Android, where I've tested it, the game does look kind of worse than it did before. So I understand the complaints of looks worse and it performs worse, or what the heck is going on. Yes, that is unfortunately just the way that this type of things go. Now, by that I mean that whenever a game is looking to do a big update when it comes to graphics and all of that, it's going to have higher requirements. The problem that I do see on how Gameloft handle things is that they let people know very, very, very late, like, hey, all of these devices are no longer supported. If you don't have the Vulkan API, then your device is not supported. All of that happened way, way too late, so people did not really have much time to prepare or, you know, grow accustomed to the idea that indeed there was going to be, that the game was going to become more prohibitive. But to give you an example, something like this happened also in Asphalt 8 when at some point we lost access to 32 bits, or rather, whoa, there's another crash. Ha! Now my textures aren't even loading properly, look at that. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm gonna say that I'm testing something on my side to see if that helps with the crashes, because I have an idea why this could be happening, but hey, we'll figure it out as we keep going. But yeah, like I was saying, in Asphalt 8, we were able to play the game in 32-bit devices for the longest time since ever. Oh, there are my textures. And then eventually, once the game continued updating, growing and whatnot, we lost access to, or rather, 32 devices lost access to the game. It was no longer supported. So this is things that happen over time. Unfortunately, that is just part of the progression or evolution of the game. And it is very annoying indeed. But let's not forget that the game has always been prohibitive. Ever since the game originally released, the game was already really heavy. Now, obviously, as years have gone by, then more people were able to get slightly better devices and whatnot, and now they had access to the game. Like myself, I was playing on a worse device, playing at 30 frames per second for the longest time. Then I got a new device and I could play it at 60. So the game has always been prohibitive. Now it's just another step of this prohibitiveness, if that is a word. Alright, we haven't gotten a crash so far, so that is promising. But yeah, it is unfortunate. Now, that is not to say that there's nothing Gameloft can do. They can probably still work in optimizing the game. So I'm not trying to say, well, you gotta live with it. Gameloft definitely should have a look as to what else they can do to the game to improve the performance, to enhance the performance. You know, there's gotta be something that they can. Oh Jesus, I hate those ramps so much. There's gotta be something that they can do. So this is also on Gameloft's side to be like, okay, so we released the game as is, but I don't know, they probably have the numbers of how many people are reporting this and whatnot. So it's like, oh wow, a lot of people are not able to play the game to a satisfactory level. We're gonna do something to try to get it, you know, more accessible to people. But yeah, at the moment, unfortunately, that is just where we're at with the performance. I personally, on my phone, obviously, like I said, I'm playing this right now that you're watching. This is being played on the Steam version, so my computer is very able to play the game. But when it comes to the phone, yeah, when I go into medium or high graphics, then it is a little bit choppy. But when I go the way down to the lowest graphic settings, it plays pretty alright. Nothing spectacular. It does look kind of garbo. Honestly, the levels without this fancy lighting system look very ugly flat. And the garage, which is supposed to be like, oh, where you look at your car and you appreciate, you know, you admire your car, it honestly looks horrendous at the lowest settings. That is something that, you know, just for the visuals of the game, or, you know, the presentation of the game, making the garage look so ugly. Oof. So yeah, we can just hope that Gameloft does continue working on this game to optimize it so that, you know, it performs better in medium devices. Super low devices are always going to be no priority, but medium, that's where the priority should be. But anyway, so now I want to talk about something that I've noticed myself, a couple of the gripes that I have so far with the game, and one of them is the lack of quick access to the garage. And by that I mean this, where you can actually check your garage and see your cars. And what do I mean by that, the quick access? Normally, when I'm browsing my daily events, I'm like, oh, that's right, the event for the Formula E Gen 2 already started. Wait, how many blueprints do I have on the car? Oh, I don't have the buttons here anymore like I did before. Okay, so I need to go here, then I need to go here, and only then I have access to my garage, and only then I can browse to the car that I wanted to look at and be like, oh yeah, my Formula E, I have this many blueprints. This is something that does bother me quite a bit. To the garage, to the information. Same thing, for example, when I'm looking at because this is something that I had been looking or checking. For example, oh, I'm gonna get some wildcards for Class D, 1-star wildcards. Okay, let me check my inventory. Oh, that's right. So I need to go back, or I need to go home, and then I need to go here, and then I need to go here, and then, you know, because from here is where you look at this stuff. this is what I'm saying, that this quick loss of this quick access, it's annoying. And they have all the space to do it. I don't understand why they had to take away these buttons. These buttons were really, really useful. Because even this, you press the home button. If I'm in multiplayer, let's see, let's double check. Okay, I'm here. I press home. Where does that take me? It doesn't take me home. It takes me to the upper side or the top side of the menu here in multiplayer. So if I'm in a special events and I go here and I go here and oh, I want to check something, let me go home. It doesn't take me home. Home is this. It's taking me here. This is what I'm saying. The home button, if you have something that is called home and you have a button that says that it's going to take you home, it should take you to the place that is called home. You see what I'm saying? I don't know. This part of the design of the UI, I think it's not good. It's just really annoying that they removed that access to our garage and looking at that type of thing. That is one thing that I definitely don't like at all. Now, another thing that I want to mention is the blueprint situation in the Legends store. Because, well, again, oh, I want to look at my garage, by the way, because this comes to what I need to mention about the garage. But I cannot look at the garage because I have to go here, then go home, then go here, and then go here. And only then I get to the garage information. You see what I'm saying? But anyway, I am garage level 34, so I should be getting blueprints for the Vector, the Citroen, the Speedtail, and all of that. But guess what? If I check what is being offered in the Legends store, it's gonna be the same old, same old. There's a bunch of cars that they could already be here, but they're not. Basically, what is happening is that any car that it's over the garage level 20, meaning what used to be garage level 18, is not showing up over here. So, oh boy, just to show you how annoying this navigation is, I want to show you again the garage level. So I need to go all the way over here. So anyway, all the cars that are from here, level 20 and lower, they're showing as usual. For me, not, because I already have all of these cars, so they don't really show. But from garage 10, 21 and onwards, all of these cars should also be showing in the garage, on the Legends store, right? But I don't know, it just says that it gets added to the premium card packs. Is this by design or is it a bug? I don't know, but I think it's really, what's the word that I want to use? Tricky? I don't know. If it was done on purpose so that this you can only get on the premium card packs and not on the garage, in the Legends store, man, so there's many terms. If they're not meant to show in the Legends store, then what's the point? Because then it's only for if you buy packs. That's what I'm saying. This is bad. I hope that this is a bug, that these cars are meant to show in the Legends store, and if they're not, this whole thing is what we call in Spanish atole con el dedo, which is to say they're just trying to fool us. They're like, oh, look at all these cars that you can get, except that you can't anymore unless you want to spend tokens in buying. So I really hope that this is a bug and this is not by design, because if it is by design, that is an absolute move. I'm sorry, but it is. Anyway, now we're gonna move on to the situation with multiplayer, because I think this is very interesting, but it does have a couple of things that I would like to mention where I believe this could be improved. Now, I'm gonna go first with the summarized warm-up round. Yeah, the World League. This is what this entire series is called, World League, right? So this is the, in theory, hyper-competitive multiplayer mode in which you're gonna have a limited pool of cars that you can use, and not only that, it is organized in a different way that previous multiplayer was, where before you were in bronze and you could use any Class D car and match basically cars of Class D and a little bit of Class C, so on and so forth. In silver, Class C, in gold, Class B, and whatnot. It doesn't work like this anymore. This was explained on the patch notes, but I'll just give you a very quick overview. So once you start playing, you are by default in Bronze 4. And that means that in Bronze 4, you can only use these cars. These are the only cars that you can use. And actually, I think there were some changes here or not yet. I'm not sure. But these are the cars that you can use. And it's curious because it's not only Class D, as you would expect. You can see some low Class C as well. And this is what I said that it's very interesting, because now you have cars that would be normally very performing in Class D, but against low Class C, it's a somewhat fair match. And then once you do a few races, you rank up from Bronze 4 to Bronze 3, and now you can select from these cars and previous ones as well. You're not locked out of playing with lower league cars or whatever you want to call this, divisions. So now you can play with these cars. These are the new cars added to the pool. Then once you reach Bronze 2, these are the new cars. I think you get it, right? I am currently in Bronze 1, but what I want to mention, well, for example, in Bronze 1, so now I have these cars that I can select. This is great, except that if I did not have the garage that I have, I would be pretty much locked out of using any of these cars, except maybe for the Pininfarina H2, because this is a common car. And this is a point that I want to make about this. If we look real quick at the selection of cars that are here on Bronze 4, common car, not common, I'm gonna say common and uncommon. And by uncommon, I mean it's not cars that you can get through regular progression in the game. These cars you get guaranteed, again, through the Legend Store and Blueprint packs and all of that. So, common is a car that you can get in easy ways, even if it takes a while. Uncommon are cars that you cannot get other than through car hunts or whatever thing is special that it's time limited. So common, uncommon, common, uncommon. But there's a bunch of common cars, so this is fine. But in Bronze 2, for example, we have common, uncommon, this is uncommon and common. Then Bronze 2 is exactly where I saw the issue, where I noticed this issue, because this is a common car. But the rest, uncommon. So the only common car, and this is actually the only car that I got to use around here, was this, the Resvani Beast. And when I say common, it's still a car that is somewhat difficult to get if you have not focused on doing your events, your daily events where you can acquire this car. Now, I say that this is a common car because these events are available every single week ever since the game has had them. This car is available to get in such a way, but it does take a while. But other than that, this has, what, Car Hunt maybe? This has been available here and there. Yeah, we got it at 1 star, but at 1 star is not going to be competing all that much. Because the thing about this multiplayer matchmaking is that while the cars are sorted so that the ranks are similar, 1900, 2100, 2100, 2300, 2100, the thing is that it's based around the maximum rank of the car, not your current rank. So for example, when I have a car that it's like this, the Countach, the maximum rank should be around what, 2400 or something, but guess what? I don't have it at max stars. In fact, I don't have it upgraded. So this car is matched with other cars of similar rank of 2400, 2500, but this is not really all that competitive because I don't have it upgraded. So the matchmaking is done with the maximum rank of the car, not with the current rank. So when it comes to things like that, precisely like I was saying, the Nissan, yeah, you will have access to play it with it over here, but if you only have it at 1 star because you got it for free just now with Asphalt Legends Unite, it's still not going to be competitive because it's going to be matched with cars of ranks of about 2600 or so, 2700. So the matchmaking over here is interesting, but you definitely need to have a bunch of cars in order to make progress over here. And then there's the additional thing where, well, like I said, a lot of these cars are not easily available, but even if you have them, like in my case, the Porsche Taycan Turbo S, I have it, but guess what? I never upgraded it. Now that in a way is on me, because this car in general, I had never a reason to upgrade it because I had better cars in Class D, but now because of how this game works and the matchmaking works, now it is in your best interest to upgrade some of these cars that maybe you have had their start up but never upgraded. This is like, when am I gonna use it? Which is the exact thought that I've always had. Well, this is when you get to use them. Like I said over here, that I'm in Bronze 1. Well, over here, this one I did upgrade, so I have it as high as I can possibly have it. This one I haven't upgraded, because again, when am I going to use this? Well, this is when I get to use it. Same with the Corvette C7R. I have it at max stars, but never upgraded it. So this is why at this point you will want to start upgrading some of these lower class cars that you never cared about. And this is why I was so excited to see this matchmaking, or rather this organization of the cars, because now incentivizes you to use a bunch of other cars that otherwise you would have never used. And that is, along with the next multiplayer series that we're gonna look at later in this video, this is what gets me excited, because it allows variety that you haven't seen before. Now granted, I am using right now a pretty good Class C car that normally Class B, that you would normally see competing in the Class D races. So this is not exactly, I'm driving a rare a car that you wouldn't see normally. But I think you see what I'm saying when it comes to how this is working and how it allows a lot of cars to be used now. And I have seen a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, but I have seen the complaint that this doesn't make sense and this is bad and all of these cars and whatnot. I do see how people that are too used to have multiplayer used to work in Asphalt 9 before could see this as a bad thing. And I was giving this example in one of my streams that I did yesterday, where if you're the type of person who's used to, oh, as soon as I hit Class B, I'm going to start using my Lamborghini Huracan and only use my Lamborghini Huracan because it's so good and I'm going to beat everybody. Well, guess what? Now, I don't even know if the Lamborghini Huracan is available in this particular multiplayer series, because remember, the pool of cars are going to be changing. But even if it's available, well, now the Lamborghini Huracan may not be as dominating, because now maybe it's also going to be facing Class A cars, maybe even some low Class C cars that are, Class S cars that might be not as good accelerating, not as good nitro, but they have much higher top speed. Sorry, buddy, I didn't mean to knock you down. So I can see why people that are super used to the way that things worked before are gonna be bothered by, oh, wait a second, this is different. Why am I not as dominating with my dominating cars as I've been before? Except maybe with Class S, dominating classes are still gonna be dominating. But in general, I can see why people could be upset about this. What was I racing? Pininfarina. And see, like I said, if I was in Class D races only, driving my Bentley Continental, this is a very strong car. But suddenly this very strong car versus a mid-class C car, this is not as strong. You see what I'm saying? That this allows a very peculiar variety of races. So let's continue exploring this over here. So let's look a little bit further ahead. I don't know. I haven't gotten to these leagues, obviously, but I just want to have a look. Silver 1, you got, look at this. Lamborghini Miura, which is a Class C car versus a Class S Lamborghini Centenario. But let's remember that this is not a fantastic car. So again, when have you had the chance to use a Centenario in a competitive environment? Never. This is when you're gonna start having a shot at some of these cars that you never really had a reason to play with before. Let's see around here. There's a Corvette Grand Sport. The Bugatti, interesting. Oh, there's a free try. Oh, this is good. Do they have free tries in every single one of them? Hold on. Let me have a look. Because this is something that also was mentioned earlier. In fact, let me show you something over here. This was posted just today, and it reads, multiplayer changes. We've been keeping an eye on all of your feedback regarding new MP changes and have seen quite a few players complain that the climb is a little bit too tough. To improve the speed of progression in earlier tiers and sub-tiers, we're tweaking the progression to hopefully ease the pressure a bit. Hope this helps and keep feedback coming. We'd love to hear thoughts on the changes. So I don't know if that's why they added some free tries or if this is separate. I don't know. But yeah, like I was saying, people are having some issues because the example that I just gave you in here. If you're the type of player who never did the Rizvani Beast, and you never did the hunt for the Treasure, you never got additional blueprints for the Nissan, you've never done the hunt for the Civic, like I haven't. You never did the hunt for the Taycan, you never did the hunt for the Porsche. Over here, you're pretty much screwed, because you don't have any of these cars. Now, granted, you can still bring cars from lower tiers, but then you're gonna have where, well, is really this car gonna be competitive against this, you know? And yeah, that's why I can see why this might be troublesome. And the only way that I see of fixing this and keeping the interesting side of this is to always make sure that there's always common cars in each one of this. Let's see, because like I said, over here, common, none of these are common. Oh, okay, this one is common. Let's see over here, not common, uncommon, uncommon just by virtue of being an event that not a lot of people do. This is a common one, uncommon, common, uncommon, and uncommon, this one is common, and uncommon as well. So yeah, I think the priority should be to ensure that there's always the common car, the basic cars, to always be present in each one of these sub-tiers. That's what they're calling it, I just learned. That there's always common cars found in these sub-tiers. But still, like I said, you're not completely locked out. Listen, you may not have any of these 6 cars, you can still bring your Lotus Elise, you can still bring your Jaguar F-Type, you can still bring your Aston Martin DB11. In fact, I'm still here, right? Oh, and this is another thing that I did find a little bit annoying. I don't think I haven't noticed a way to instantly say or determine in which sub-tier you're at. I thought that this little icon, this white line, maybe was the indicator, but actually it's not. Because this is present everywhere, and I'm like, okay, so where over here does it say? I don't know. Is this what that means? The number 1? Is that because I'm on tier? I really don't know. This is what I'm saying, that it's a little bit difficult. Is it on leaderboard? No, leaderboard won't be it. Is it on, not on rewards, not milestones? So where do I see this information? I'm not sure just yet. I don't know, maybe I'm missing something. Maybe it is this. But there should be somewhere that says, like, over here, Bronze League, and then it says Sub-Tier 1 or 2, or Bronze League 4, Bronze League 3 or something, but it doesn't say. That's what I think it needs to be explained, or more... what's the word I'm looking for? To be more obvious, to quickly be able to tell, oh, that's where I am at. Because if you missed out or you forgot already, like I tend to do, if you forgot, oh, I did see a message that said that I'm in some sub-tier, but I forgot which one it was. Where am I? You're gonna have to find out by trial and error, like, am I allowed to use this card? No, okay, so I'm not here. So am I allowed to use this? Okay, this is the one where I'm at. That is one thing that I have definitely found to be annoying over here. So, well, you know, again, maybe it's a small issue, but, oh, I went on the wrong route, damn it. But it is something that I could see them improving indeed. Because, man, it's, it's just kind of annoying. Now, I do want to make a video also on multiplayer to the other multiplayer series, but this video is long enough as is. And like I said, I wanted to make a quick video, but this is already like half an hour. So I think I'm going to leave it for tomorrow's video to talk about the other multiplayer series because, man, I'm loving it. It has some small issues here and there that I've noticed, specifically with the navigation on the garage. But overall, that multiplayer series is so much fun. I found it so incredibly fun. And I think I'm going to be playing that quite a bit simply because it allows for... If I said that this allows some crazy variety, that one is even better. So I'm really excited to talk about it. And yeah, I think I'm going to dedicate an entire video just to that. But overall, why don't you let me know in the comments what are your impressions with the multiplayer series? And let's not go into vitriolic 5-word things like, they have ruined the game is the worst it's ever been. Now let's try to be a bit more like productive in what we're saying. What have you found that doesn't work? What makes it not work? Or what do you like about this whole thing? That's what I think is the best, to provide some proper feedback as opposed to just vitriolic, oh, look at that, I got demoted. Ha! Happens. To try to be a bit more objective to what is it that you think could improve and what is affecting, what is making this bad, what in particular, not just overall statements of this sucks. And by the way, yeah, this is not the indicator. I thought this was gonna change to 2 now that I'm in bronze 2, but no. So yeah, there's literally no indicator of which sub-tier am I at. And like I said, you have to do it by elimination. So let's say I forgot already, like, where am I? Am I on 2? Yeah, I can play with this, but maybe, wait, am I on 1 maybe? Maybe I'm on 1, so let me check and drive with, oh, I'm not there. You see what I'm saying? But anyway, so once again, let me know what you think about these topics that we talked about, and that's all for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next one. Bye-bye.